Hai wanita Indonesia, ketemu lagi di Perempuan Inspiratif, Kreatif, Aktif, dan Transformatif. Kali ini kita mau bawa cerita perempuan Indonesia. Dan saya lagi kedatangan satu cewek yang cantik dan juga yang sangat aktif di komunitas. Namanya Tara Subba.
Selamat pagi semua.
Nah, sekali ini thank you ya untuk udah datang dan kita ngobrol sama PIKAT ya. Jadi di PIKAT kita punya cerita perempuan Indonesia, dan dalam rangka Hari Kartini Tara ini datang dan dia mau cerita mengenai cerita perempuan Indonesia, cerita mengenai hidupnya, mengenai profesinya. Menarik sekali. Tara adalah salah satu leader, bahkan director dari TCI director. Nanti Tara akan cerita ya. Lalu dia juga sangat aktif di komunitas, banyak sekali prestasi, dan juga salah satu atlet PON Indonesia. Yuk kita dengar ceritanya. Ya, jadi kita langsung aja bertanya ya ke Tara. Tara, gimana kabarnya? Baik ya, sehat sekali rasanya.
Terima kasih Ani.
Oke, jadi Tara langsung aja mungkin bisa cerita mengenai latar belakang Tara dan apa yang membawa Tara balik ke Indonesia, gitu. Boleh cerita?
Thank you Ani. Secara latar belakang, I am Indonesian, Nepalese, and English.
Wah,
So a combination.
campur ya. Gado-gado.
So I was here until I was 13 before I moved to Vietnam, the UK, China, the US, and eventually last year I came back to Jakarta.
Balik ke Indonesia.
Iya.
Terus yang membawa dulu mungkin pendidikannya atau latar belakangnya itu apa ya? Menarik sekali soalnya saya tahu cerita mengenai Tara ini.
Ya, jadi sejak saya sekolah, saya sangat menghargai pemahaman tentang bagaimana komunitas dan negara bisa berkembang, apa tantangannya, dan bagaimana bisa menangani tantangan sosial ekonomi. Nah, karena my interest in that area, I did my undergrad, so S1 saya in the UK, in Durham University, in politics, philosophy, and economics. Jadi filsafat, politik, dan ekonomi. And then I did my masters in international economics. Dua masters in international economics.
Luar biasa.
Very passionate in Tsinghua University in China, dan juga in Columbia University in New York with an exchange at Harvard. So originally I'm very, very passionate in terms of academics, in terms of understanding of the world. And in terms of my background, I've worked with corporates, with Goldman Sachs, with the United Nations, with governments around the world.
Dengan PBB juga ya, pernah kerjasama United Nations.
So, kerjasama dengan United Nations dengan beberapa project until last year when I moved back. So really until this stage, my understanding of what transformation meant was very much top down. I thought that change came about if you were in a room where those high-level executive decisions were made. And yes, perhaps to a large extent that is where the power is, but I wanted to get my hands dirty on grassroots level movements and one-on-one, people-to-people, person-to-person transformation, because I believe that in order for a nation to grow, to flourish.
Wow, itu bagus banget.
At the very core, it rests on the human individual and their ability to make good decisions grounded in good values, in good leadership making, surrounded by a good support system. The list goes on, but it really is down to the individual. So now I'm here and back in the country that I love, that I call home, Indonesia, and I really want to make an impact that is bottom up. Through the Collective Institute.
Wow, nah jadi Tara ini bukan hanya punya passion yang kuat dan really trigger dengan pendidikan yang bagus sekali dan sebagainya dan latar belakangnya. Dia juga adalah salah satu TCI leaders atau tepatnya TCI director, the Collective Institute director. Mungkin Tara bisa cerita mengenai TCI director?
Yes, sorry saya dan semuanya saya direktur the Collective Institute. Nah, misi The Collective Institute adalah membangkitkan para pemimpin pada segala lingkup pengaruh yang diperlengkapi untuk membangun dalam kasih dan sehat secara emosional, mental, rohani, pokoknya mental, emotional, physical, spiritual.
Lengkap ya, lengkap sekali ya.
That is holistically
holistic,
healthy.
Yeah.
Now, one of our programs is an undergraduate and master's degree in community leadership, kepemimpinan komunitas. Now in our program, salah satu komponen yang sangat besar adalah proyek sosial di Subba.
Oke.
Di mana mahasiswa kami akan menerapkan keterampilan kepemimpinan mereka dan apa yang mereka telah pelajari untuk membangun sekolah-sekolah dan puskesmas di Subba. Nah, mahasiswa kami juga akan memberi pelajaran untuk masyarakat komunitas di pedesaan Subba.
Wow, itu menarik sekali ya, karena aku juga dengar kan programnya Desa Manurara ya kalau nggak salah ya. Jadi kerjasama dengan beberapa pihak gitu ya, dengan komunitas. So itu kerjasama dengan TCI dan siapa saja?
Dan non-profit Love in the Streets.
Wow, Love in the Streets. Dan ada komunitas selain Love in the Streets, ada lagi nggak komunitas lain yang kerjasama?
Iya, jadi leading up to Subba, ada beberapa komunitas yang telah helped us in fundraising for Subba, for the campaign to build schools, to build medical centers, and to build water pumps, which started last year. And so the main players are, of course, the Collective, Love in the Streets, the Collective Institute, but we are bringing the sporting community and combining people who are passionate in sport in order to fundraise through various activities like fundraisers and running and cycling. In order to raise funds to build the schools and to really involve the communities, because it's a we not me journey, right? We're all in this to build our nations, and that begins with building villages, building people, building villages, and then we progress from there.
Ya, jadi Tara ini selain aktif sebagai TCI Director, dia juga leader dari salah satu komunitas sport, olahraga ya, cycling community, women cycling community, benar ya? Nah yang paling grace nih, yang paling oke banget, Tara is preparing herself untuk PON, benar ya Tara sebagai atlet kita, atlet wanita. Yeay. Nah boleh cerita nggak, karena ini kerjasama juga di bidang olahraga, terus kamu juga passion banget dengan olahraga, gimana nih persiapan untuk sebagai atlet untuk PON, Pekan Olahraga Nasional?
I'm very passionate about triathlons, like swim, bike, run. Since I was small, I've always been very passionate about sports, and it's where I learn about the values of discipline, of obedience, of endurance, of mental character and mental strength. And it's from sport that I outwork all of those ideals in the rest of life, in the other spheres of life. Now for me, it's a great privilege that I get to bridge sport and my passion in sport, and as a leader in the community, bring people in on a journey that isn't only health-based, but in this moment in time, we are fundraising through our love for sport in order to build and have social impact
for other
in
people.
Subba,
In
for other
Subba.
people. And I truly do believe to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yes.
And so our passions are not just for us. I truly do believe this, Ani. Our passions are there, yes, for us to grow in, and we can outwork the values that we believe are good, and we can grow in our ability, that specific skill, that's then translated to other parts of life. But there is also an element of giving back.
Yes, and I love it.
And this is where we get to outwork that. So,
yay, so nice. Wow, menarik sekali ya Tara ya. Jadi ya ini kaitannya nih dengan kalau sebentar lagi kan kita merayakan Hari Kartini. Nah, kalau dikaitkan dengan itu, menurut Tara tuh kira-kira peran wanita atau role of the Indonesia woman atau perempuan Indonesia, apalagi di dalam kondisi sekarang dan dalam generasi milenial, menurut Tara seperti apa?
I think in our generation, we are actually very privileged that with the role of media, we can see women across the different spheres who are now leaders in the sphere, right? Whether it's in politics, whether it's in the media, whether it's in business. So visually they are there. However, where I believe we can grow in is in our mental shift. To realize across the social classes that we have the right to be educated, and we have the capacity in us as individuals to shape our nation. Because maybe a very small percentage of people have that understanding, but if we're talking about people, say in the outer skirts of Jakarta or in the remote villages, I don't think we are at a place where these girls, know that they have the right and the opportunity to be educated the same way as men.
Wow, yeah, I agree with that. Itu menarik sekali. But menurut Tara, ada nggak ya? Is there any difference atau perbedaan gitu ya antara generasi milenial nih, peran wanita di generasi milenial dengan generasi sebelumnya, the previous generations?
Right. But I think, as we were mentioning, right, the spirit of female empowerment is the same, and it's transcendent. It's the same across all generations.
Yeah.
However, what is very clear and different, right, is that perhaps in our mother's generations, the fight was for the right to be educated as women.
Yes.
That in itself was a challenge. I believe that we are living in a time where, in these main cities, we are given the right, but it's no longer about getting the right. It's about having the mental shift towards thinking that we have capacity as strong women to become strong leaders who are equal with men in our ability to shape and build a nation.
Yes.
So I believe that it's now time to awaken the spirit and the confidence and the conviction in young women to make them believe, because they have the ability to do so, to compete with men and to work alongside men.
Nice. Ya, itu jadinya jelas ya. Jadi spiritnya sama, the same spirit across generation, tapi mungkin ada perbedaan konteks formingnya. Nah, kalau gitu untuk kedepannya, kira-kira menurut Tara, karena what is your future goal and kaitannya dengan leadership dari Ibu Kartini, menurut Tara tuh kedepannya seperti apa sih peran wanita?
Okay, so taking my story, right?
Yes.
So my story before coming back to Jakarta was very much professional, corporate driven. And now it's very much values driven, it's very much grassroots, people, person to person driven. Now in the future I see myself combining those two together, where if I were to be a leader of the UN, of the World Bank, of an international organization, I don't want to be making high level decisions without taking consideration of the individual, without taking consideration of the values that an individual would need to grow in order to become a good leader. Because perhaps I was detached from that before, but now I've been given the opportunity, right, to work on the ground. Now in the future I want to bring those two together in a very abstract sense. Now in a tangible way, and to give an example, what could that mean? Take TC Institute, the Kreatif Institute, as an example. We've started here in Jakarta. We are working on developing healthy leaders who have a clear set of values, right? Who have an ever-expanding personal vision, and who are globally minded or global oriented. Yes, we start in Jakarta, but we already have plans to open up our branches in Vienna, in Budapest, in Antwerp, in Bali. And all this is representing Indonesia as a place where this institute was founded. Right? So that's my way of putting Indonesia on the map as a strong woman who believes that we have the capacity and the opportunity and the ability and the right to make a difference not only in our country but on the world stage.
Nice. So sebenarnya itu menarik sekali dan sangat membanggakan ya. How we can actually bring that into the next level, atau membawa perempuan Indonesia, leaders Indonesia melihat leadership dari Ibu Kartini ke tidak hanya lokal tapi juga ke global. Ya, sampai di sini dulu acara Cerita Perempuan Indonesia dari PIKAT, Perempuan Inspiratif, Kreatif, Aktif, dan Transformatif.
Wow.
Sama-sama yuk. Selamat Hari Kartini 2021. Maju terus Perempuan Indonesia. Yeay.